What's up, guys? Steven Story back at it again. Hope all is well y'all's way. Today we're going to be talking about hurricanes. So, as we go through this, I want y'all to be asking good questions. I'm recording everything, all right? If you all want to hop in and ask any questions, you can always leave a comment on the YouTube video, or you can hop here into the stream. Just ask to get in here into the room with me, and I'll go ahead and add you in here so we can talk. A couple things. If you don't see all of the stream tonight, you can always come back and look at it in the group. I'll have a continuous thread with all of these all these Q&A videos in there. So again, guys, today the Q&A is about hurricane season. All right. I got a few people in here already. I'm gonna go ahead and add y'all in. All right. Let's see what we got. Nick, what's up? Mel, what's up? Issa, Gwen. Hope everybody is doing well. The main thing I want to do for y'all is I want to be able to answer as many questions as I can for everybody tonight. If you got some questions that aren't about hurricane season, that's fine, but I want to get as many questions answered as possible. We're going to go for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. Okay. So off the top, does anybody got any questions about anything before I go into my presentation for tonight? And if y'all want to talk, just unmute yourself. Okay. Or do I need to unmute y'all? Let's see. Gwen, Mel, Issa, y'all got any questions? Anybody got questions before I go into what I want to talk about?
No, not really. Not right now.
Okay, perfect. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm excited. I get excited to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
I like to see where y'all are on y'all's journeys, you know. So all right, guys. So what I want to do tonight, we're going to talk about some things that maybe I haven't taught y'all yet, but I want to kind of go over the idea of hurricane season for those who have not worked hurricane season before. We're going to be going over car rentals, hotels, equipment lists, finances, which is super important, and kind of in career strategy. All right. So strategy around hurricane season. So first thing I think is the most important thing is understanding. You need to have a good understanding of what your bills are at home. Okay. So the last couple of years, we've had a lot of people who were able to work from home because of the pandemic, but that might not be an option this year. This will be the third year, and I think that we're going to have a lot of people working in office or working in the field. We're still going to have some remote work, but I don't think it's going to be like it was last year. So I want to prepare you all for just in case, right? Because I started this business always working, in another city or another country for that matter. So first things first, we're going to talk about finances. So I need everybody to, over the next coming weeks, you need to have a strong understanding of how much it costs per month to keep your rent paid up, keep your car note paid up, light bill, cable bill, anything that you're paying at your primary residence. Okay. You need to know exactly what that dollar amount is. Okay. Because if you're going to be deployed, let's say you live in Pennsylvania and you're going to get deployed to Florida, for example, you need to know that a $26 an hour job is not going to be a good fit for you to go all the way to Florida, right? If you have a high, high cost of living in, where you're from, where you're living at, right? Because you're going to be paying for a home and the hotel where you're at, right? So let's say, for example, they say, hey, look, we'll give you $36 an hour for, 10 hours a day, and we'll give you $150 per diem. You need to be able to do that math quickly in your head to determine whether or not you're going to take that deployment. Because what will happen is you'll say yes just because it's deployment. You get there and it turns out you're losing money, which happens a lot. Okay. Now I know that you have people that say, hey, I want to just get out there and get the experience. Screw that. Okay. We are doing this for the money. We're not doing it for the honey. All right. So it's always a good decision to put finances first, guys. We're all running our own little small businesses. And so we don't want to get out on the road and we're going into a hole just to say we have a job, or just say we got deployed. If we can wait a week, we can wait 2 weeks and find something that's a bit more in line with our financial goals. Okay. So guys, again, you need to run your math. Okay. How much is it for my hotels on average? We need to know. Are you comfortable living in a place that is $40 a night, $50 a night, $60 a night? Are you comfortable with having a roommate that you may not know, or you might know from this group? Are you comfortable with that? You need to know kind of, we need to start setting up our plan for our deployments for those of us who are not going to work at home. And that's an option for a lot of us. You know, a lot of us might not work at home this go around, depending on the types of catastrophes that happen this year. Okay. So sit down, make a list. All right. And all right, this deployment is going to net me, it's going to gross me $9,000 per month. At home, I'm spending $2,500 per month. If I were to go travel, it would cost me another $2,500 per month between food and, you know, housing and gas. All right. So I'm in it for, what's that say? To say 2,500 there and 2,500 at the deployment spot. So that's $5,000. So I'm gaining $4,000 per month. How am I going to budget my money as I get paid each week, or every 2 weeks? These are the questions we have to know before we get called. Everybody, we need to know the answer to that before we get called, so we can know the number we need to hear to say yes. The number we need to hear when we need to, so we can respond to that email. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Anybody got questions about this? Am I moving too fast? Y'all want examples? If you can't talk, write in the chat. I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. I don't want to brush past this. It's not such a technical thing, guys, but a lot of people get burnt on this part of the business. You know, they get burnt because they'll hear a number and it sounds good, but it ain't necessarily good, you know? And here's the next thing, going back to strategy. Okay. All my people in the Southeast, if you're in Texas, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Florida, or if you're close by those states, if it's me, I need to know where the hubs are for insurance hubs. There's a ton of places in Florida to work. Atlanta is a huge insurance hub. Mobile, Alabama is a huge insurance hub. There's a lot of deployments going on in Mobile. It's a lot of deployments that happen in Texas. If you live in one of those states or close by, pay attention when they start offering deployments in those areas, specifically for hurricane season. Okay. All right. Because you don't want to have to spend a bunch of money traveling, because when cat season hits, guys, you might be, if you're working in office, you might be in office for 4 months. That means you're going to be living in another place or close by for 3 or 4 months. So you want to stay close as you can to home if possible, if it makes sense, right? If it doesn't make sense, or you can get paid a lot more, or you're in a situation you can get a roommate or something like that to split costs, I highly suggest doing it. Okay. For me, a lot of my deployments made sense, like when I went to Canada, or like when I traveled all over the United States working, because I always had a partner, or I had partners that I worked with, other adjusters that we would travel together. We might rent a car. We'll rent the car together. We'll split the cost. We get an Airbnb for a month or 2 months or 3 months. We'll split that cost, right? By splitting the cost, I get to bring home more money. We buying groceries together. I did all that with adjusters, as long as they're professional at work and they seem like pleasant people to be around, I could live with them, and I've done that, across several of my deployments. So it's another idea for you all. Just on the strategy side, we're trying to work hard, do well, and make as much money and bring as much money back home as we possibly can. All right. So, which brings me to my next point: car rentals and hotels. So when you're talking to your IA firms, guys, a lot of them are going to have discounts. Okay. They'll have discounts for car rentals and hotels. They won't have that for Airbnb, obviously, but excuse me. But they'll you need to ask the question when they're offering the deployment. Hey, do you have per diem? Okay, so do you do cash advances, or some type of advance. You need to know these things, guys. Again, it's a strategy that goes around how we get deployed for a hurricane. All right. For some of these bigger firms, guys, they'll give you up to $1,500 on an advance. Obviously, they're going to take that out of your next couple, 3 checks. But instead of you going out of pocket or trying to, max your credit card out, something like that, go ahead. Hey, do y'all do advances? Hey, do y'all have discounts on car rentals? Hey, do you have discounts on hotels? Do you have a group rate? Ask the questions from the person that's calling to get you in the best position, because, when we get deployed, we might be a week in the hole, 2 weeks in the hole, 3 weeks in the hole, depending on the style of payment they have, how they pay you. Some companies, they're going to pay once per week. You need to know that. You need to ask that question after you say yes to the deployment. They might get paid once every 2 weeks. They might get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Those suck, because if you come in on the 16th, you screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have a long period of time before you get a full paycheck. So again, questions to ask. I know obviously some of y'all have already gotten deployed, but when cat season come, everybody start rushing around, like, yo, I gotta do this, and they forget their fundamentals. Okay. So we went over strategy, we went over car rentals, and hotels. And again, I'm gonna go back to finances one more time, guys. I'm gonna keep drilling this point home. If you do not have this, I suggest you get this just for an emergency. Okay. It's a credit card. All right. I'm not going to get too deep into which credit card to get, but you need to have, $500 to $1,000 that you can use at a moment's notice, because depending on the catastrophe, you might need to buy 4 or 5 or 6 licenses right on the spot to get the deployment, plus your hotel, plus, gas and flights or whatever. So you need to have a little something extra. Either you save your money now and be prepared for cat season, or you need to go ahead, get a credit card or free up some credit so you can go and buy licenses when you need it, buy Xactimate if you need it, buy an Xactimate subscription if you need it, Symbility, whatever it is that you might need. You need to have some extra capital, okay? Because I would hate for you to miss out on a deployment that might make you $50,000 or $60,000 because you don't have $600 right now, and that happens a lot during cat season. Okay. Any questions about anything? Any questions, guys? Before I move forward, hurricane Q&A. Anybody did hurricane season yet? Anybody did a catastrophe season yet? Anybody want to know how it is during cat season? Okay. You're new. All right. So let's keep going. So I'm gonna keep going back to finances, guys, because I really want y'all to get a strong understanding. I want to give y'all a couple of what's the word I'm looking for? I just want to give y'all an idea of some expenses that can pop up. Okay. You don't have to take notes on this if you don't want to, but if you want to win, if you want to have some money in November, December, this is how you're going to have to pay attention. This is how you're going to have to do these things. All right. So one thing, again, I want y'all to remember is, like I said, credit, or having a stash of money saved up, or if you got family or friends that might be able to shoot you a few $100s, let them know now, hey, look, in August, late August, early September, I might need you. Okay. I might ask you for a few $100s. I'll be able to pay you back in a couple, 3 weeks after that. Can I depend on you? Can I count on you if I need that? Okay. Everybody's not working. I know that. Some of us don't have jobs right now. We're looking for IA to be our first, our next set of employments. So get together a team of people that can help you out, get you through that first little spot. Don't wait until hurricane season hit. Now go ahead and start asking friends and family if they can help out. If you're in a tight spot right now, because you're not going to be in a tight spot if they can get you to that first deployment, right? Again, that's strategy. So let's go into cost. Okay. We're going to just do round numbers here. Okay. Your licenses are going to cost about $100 a piece. Okay. Some licenses are cheaper. They cost like $60, $50. Some cost $195. So you want to allot for about $100 per license. Okay. So $500 should get you anywhere 3 to 5 licenses. If it hits the Southeast, all those Southern licenses are going to be $100 and almost close to $200. Okay, so you need to be allotting, all right, as we're either getting credit prepared or we're saving money. You need to have enough money to buy 5 more licenses. So $500 to $700 in licenses. You need to have enough money to stay in a hotel or Airbnb for 2 weeks. Okay, that's 2 weeks at $60 to $100 a night. You start staying in cheap places, your internet sucks, it's not safe, you know. So that's what, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,400 in hotel. You need to be allotting about $30 a day minimum for food. All right, between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know. I'm a bigger guy, so I eat a lot of food. I had some of my smaller people, they'll allot $20 a day for food. You need to be able to survive until you get your first paycheck, okay? So that is 14 days minimum of food expenses, right? And then, guys, that's what we also got to understand. These catastrophes don't care if rent is due, all right? So you might get deployed on the 28th or 29th, and you have to pay rent at home and still have to go out and spend all this money I'm talking about. So again, that's why it's super important that you have a stash or credit or family and friends that can help you get through this first part. All right. So next, guys, we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna show you an equipment list. Okay. Here we are. Uh-oh. Let me open up. Let me get this. Let me show you my equipment list real quick. Let me let Firefox see my screen. Dang, hold on. 1 second. Firefox wants me to quit. Okay, I'll allow it. There we go. All right. So can y'all see this screen? I'm showing y'all this. I think y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see my screen? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So I'm gonna put this in the group. I don't know if I put this in the I don't know if I put this in the course already, but if I haven't, I'll go ahead and put it in the group just so y'all know. But anybody who wants to be a field adjuster, these are all the tools that you're going to need for your field adjusting if you want to hop on a roof or whatever. This list is probably going to be about $1,000. Okay, maybe a little bit more, maybe like $1,200 because it's a drone here. No, the drone might be like $2,000. So you'll have to see what you what you want and what you don't want. But I will say you do need a shingle gauge. You got to have a digital camera. Shooting photos on your cell phone is unacceptable. You're not gonna be able to shoot correctly. This Leatherman Wingman multi-tool is like a knife and screwdriver and pliers and all that stuff. Yeah, I would advise getting one of those. You got to get a laser measure for your bigger rooms. A thermal camera, I don't think you need a thermal camera. Measuring tape, you got to have it. Get 2 sets of measuring tapes. You got to get chalk. This is a huge requirement for a lot of carriers is chalk, right? I see this climber rope. This is for somebody who's doing a rope and harness work, but you can skip this if you're not going to do rope and harness. If you're not going to do really steep roofs, you got to have a ladder, a 22-foot ladder, a telescoping ladder. Let me show y'all this, by the way. This is for people who think they need a truck to handle insurance claims. So this telescoping ladder right here that y'all are looking at will actually fit in a Honda Accord. You don't need a truck for this. The way these things fold up, you can put this in the back of a 4-door car. Okay. Let's see how much one of these things cost. They don't have the price on it right now, but it's probably like, here's one. This is a good one, but you got to find the 22-foot ladder version. This is a 16.5-foot ladder. Is too short. You need a 22 to 24-foot version. What else you got here? You got to have a shingle gauge. This is going to tell you how old a roof is. Let me show y'all this so y'all know what this is. This is imperative. You gotta have this tool if you're going to work in the field. Okay, these are hard to find. These are hard to find in Home Depot. or Lowe's or whatever hardware store you're in. So I wouldn't, if you plan on doing field adjusting this year, I would suggest buying this now. I wouldn't wait until hurricane season hit. If you plan on going to the field, guys, you got to get a shingle gauge. All right. Let me show you a couple other things in here. These are cougar paws. Let me show you these cougar paws. This is something that's really popular in our industry. And these give you a lot of dexterity on top of roofs. Okay. So you're going to slip these things over your boot. Okay. You already have a boot or a tennis shoe or whatever, and you'll put these cougar paws on. Now, I will say, because these roofs are very hot, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this. But since these roofs are very hot, tennis shoes and regular shoes melt quickly on these asphalt shingles. Okay. And so what cougar paws do is they give you a lot more dexterity, guys. When you get on a roof, you want to make sure you get off a roof. Okay. A lot of people do fall off of roofs because they're getting on the roof with tennis shoes. Okay. Or just any old pair of shoes. Do not do that. Okay. You're risking your life. All right. When you get up there with faulty equipment. Another thing that's not on there, get some gloves. Okay. Like some of those like mechanics gloves, you know, that brand Mechanics. Get some like leather gloves that you can touch hot things with. Okay. Because and knee pads as well. You need knee pads as well, because when you get on these roofs and you're lifting shingles up and things like that, it can be quite hot. You don't want to burn your knees or rough your knees up or rough your hands up. Okay. Let me go ahead and answer some questions real quick. So Devin says, I just got a 26-foot roof, 26-foot winter this weekend. Do you think I should take a rope and harness deployment and just do ladder assist if I can't reach, or stay away from rope and harness deployments? I have a rope and harness certification. I highly recommend doing ladder assist. Okay. The ladder assist is there. That's what the carriers pay for. Why not use them? All right. It's not going to take a bunch of money out of your fee schedule when you get paid. All right. So, you know, if it's, they'll tell you how much ladder assist costs for you. Use it. Okay. Next thing is, I have a major concern how to fit a ladder in my Chevy Cruze. Telescoping ladders, guys. Go to Home Depot now. Do not wait until hurricane season comes, guys. Go and start pricing things now and start looking at things now and checking them out. All right. Do your research now so you don't have to wait. And then, they might not have ladders for you, especially during times like this where we're short on supplies. Okay. So, like I said, I used that folding telescopic ladder I showed y'all, and I had a Honda Accord, and it fit in my car just fine. My trainer who taught me, he had a regular Kia Sophia or something like that. He had a telescoping ladder, and he had a 24-foot ladder in it. Okay, and he did not use a ladder rack, by the way, and neither did I. Now, with rope and harness isn't just about the heights, right? It's about the pitch of the roof, right? So what is a rope and harness is going to be what, like 8 on 12s and up, or 6 on 12 and up. So you can have a 1-story roof, but if it's an 8 on 12, you need a rope and harness. Yeah, exactly. 8 on 12. If it's 8 on 12, you need a rope and harness. Excuse me. Yeah, if it's 8 on 12, you need a rope and harness, right? So it just depends, guys. When you're in the field, because you are putting your body on the line, if you don't feel comfortable, call ladder assist. It's no problem. Take your pictures all the same. Put your ladder, put your roof on the put your ladder on the roof. Take your pictures from the the edge of the roof best you can. Take the pictures around the house. Take the inside. Have ladder assist. Take the steep pictures, and keep it moving. Okay. Anybody got questions, comments, concerns about anything? I've been talking for like 24 minutes, so I want to make sure that I'm getting everybody. I'm talking about field right now. We will go into desk here in a bit. Okay. We can go into some more things regarding property in a bit. Does anybody have any questions about anything before I keep going? Yes, no, maybe so. Y'all can write in the private chat, or I can get your audio going. Okay, I got my rope and harness certification last week from CATI. Our trainer also sells his own brand of equipment, quite pricey, but seems to be good quality. He has starter kits, takes the guesswork out of what to get, I suppose. I mean, bro, you can get all that stuff for cheaper if you just start looking now. Okay, you got several weeks, guys. And why am I talking about this whole 8-week thing? Hurricanes, the biggest hurricanes usually hit the continental United States. They hit the continental United States the last week of August, the first week of September. That 14-day period is where the biggest hurricanes hit. So you have from now, we're almost in July, until the end of August to get everything in order. Okay. Now we're going to go, what's that 14-day period again, Steve? It is the last week of August, the first week of September. If a storm has not hit already, or if it has hit, you need to be prepared, because the big storms like the Hurricane Harveys, the Hurricane Katrinas, all the major American storms hit the last week of August, first week of September, usually. It can be some variation. It might hit the third week of August, it might hit the second week of September. We have hurricanes hitting up until November, December sometimes, depending on the season. But the real busy part, is going to be in that period of time, usually. Okay, can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but usually, if we're going to have a busy season, it's going to hit around those times. Okay. All hands on deck is the same time period. It's the same time period, guys. Okay, so they're not going to do all hands on deck until the storm hits. Okay, it's got to hit, and it's got to cause damage in an insured area. All right, this brings me to my next thing I want to show you all. Okay, I'm going to show you all a website that I like to use. Here we are. Where is it at? It is here. I love using the National Hurricane Center. Okay, I don't watch the Weather Channel. I don't look at weather.com, because they all get their information from this website right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you all. There's not anything going on right now, but I'm going to show you all what we're going to be looking for, and where we're going to be looking for things to come when a hurricane season cranks up. Okay, so let's come down here to the bottom. Okay, and what all these things mean. Okay, so tropical depressions, hurricanes all come from right here, off the coast of Africa, off this west coast of Africa right here. So this is the starting point. This is where I want to pay attention. You're going to start seeing this red circle pop up around here. Okay, you want to see that circle stay red or switch to yellow. So once you see a red circle, a depression, I'm gonna be paying attention. I'm gonna check the website every few hours. If I see it at nighttime, I'm gonna come back in the morning, I'll check again. Why? Because depressions turn into storms, right? And so I'm looking for this circle that looks like a storm that's starting to rotate, right? Once those storms start to rotate, they usually start rotating in this area right here. This is important, guys. I know it's kind of elementary, but I don't have an example to show y'all right now. But this storm, I'm looking for it to be right around here before I start taking it serious. Once it goes to yellow, that means it's a less than 40% chance that a 2-day cyclone formation will start. All right. So once it goes to yellow, that's when you'll start hearing about tropical storm. It'll be tropical storm Ida, tropical storm Maria, so on and so forth. I'm starting to look, but these storms, they'll make it around here and they'll die out. Okay. I'm still not paying too close attention when it's a yellow. Once we go into this orange X and this orange X and it says hurricane and it starts to get close to here in the Caribbean area, sometimes they'll hit the Caribbean and die out, but I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to be paying attention once it starts hitting the Caribbean, because what'll happen is sometimes they'll dissipate and they'll go into Mexico right through here. They'll do a straight line from Africa, hit the Caribbean, and go straight into Mexico. That's going to happen probably starting in July and into beginning of August. But what we want to see is we want to see a greater than 60% chance. That's that red X. We want to see a hurricane, and we want to watch it enter this area right here or enter the Gulf of Mexico. When we see a hurricane enter right through here, right through the tip of Florida and go into the Gulf of Mexico, more than likely it's going to hit the southern coast of the United States. If it goes right through here as a hurricane, you see that red dot with that red X, and it gets right here, guys, I am prepared to go to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. I'm going to start looking at hotels in those areas, and I'm going to start calling IA firms that have carriers in these areas. Okay, so if, like, for example, and this is what I mean by carriers, right? So say, for example, I have Texas Wind Insurance Association, and they're inside the and I have a hurricane that's went inside the Gulf of Mexico. If I know that I'm on a roster, that has Texas Wind Insurance Association, and I see a hurricane right here, I know I'm probably going to be working for Texas Wind Insurance Association. I'm going to be calling them and responding to emails because they're probably going to be starting to have standby lists if my hurricane starts to go in this area, right? If I have a storm that's starting to go through in this Florida Panhandle right through here, I know that Federated National, I know that Allstate, I know that a bunch of Florida carriers have a lot of insured property in this area. I'm going to start reaching out to these firms that are based in Florida because I know they probably have contracts with carriers in Florida. Same thing for Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, right? This is a big State Farm country right here. I'm going to be contacting State Farm, or not State Farm, but I'm going to be contacting carriers that have State Farm, like Renfro, Alacrity, Warlaw, so on and so forth. And I'll be contacting them. So I'm going to use this. I'll be using this to know who to contact. Okay. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, everybody? Anybody got questions about anything? Do I need to slow anything down? Do I need to explain anything better? So what are some specific firms that work with TWIA? I just got mine. All right, guys. You'll know which firms work with who when you contact them. Okay. Y'all got, like, I know some of the links are dead. Some of these firms don't exist anymore because they've been buying a lot of firms since I made the course. But if you're contacting 30 or 40 IA firms, or if you're on 30 or 40 rosters, and all y'all have time, starting from today is June 21st until mid-August, late August, you have enough time to get on a lot of rosters. Guys, it don't take nothing to call somebody and say, hey, this is Devin. You know, I'm trying to see if I got any deployments. Oh, we don't have anything right now. Well, get more information from them, guys. The information is not just do they have a deployment or not, and can they hire you or not. Hey, which carriers do you work for? Just by, you know, I'd like to know which carriers you work for. Hey, what states do y'all normally work in? Hey, what states do y'all normally deploy to? All right. So as y'all are going out and hustling and y'all trying to get deployed, get as much information as you can. Build your database. All right. It ain't just about getting these recruiters to know your name. You need to get as much information. Make them give you as much information as possible. Hey, how many carriers do you work for? Just so I know. Hey, do y'all do auto and property over here? Do y'all just do field? Hey, do y'all have any file review deployments too? I just want to know. I got other friends that are adjusters too. I just want to make sure that, you know, we covering all the bases. You know, make those people work for you guys. Okay. As we are getting on these IA firms lists and rosters and emailing these guys, let's get as much information as we can. So when it starts speeding up and, you know, some small firm over here has a $700 a day deployment, you don't take the first $35 deployment just because that's the biggest number you've heard. It's not necessarily the biggest number out there. Okay. So use your resources, guys. The National Hurricane Association, National Hurricane Center, is a huge tool for you because all the other adjusters are looking at weather.com, or they're just waiting for the IA firms to text them or send them an email or call them. If we see that a storm has a 60% chance of becoming a hurricane and it's already in the Caribbean, we know we have a large chance, we have a big chance at being deployed. Let's get ahead by a day or two. You can be calling these IA firms before they send the standby list out if you study your websites, okay? if you use your resources. So the National Hurricane Center is a huge resource during hurricane season. All right, I get excited about this because this is helping me make a lot of money. National Hurricane Center has made me a lot of money, guys. It's made my friends a lot of money. I've been able to help my friends over the years. Say, hey man, I'm looking over here right now, and this is what it is right now. I think we're gonna have a hurricane. We're gonna have a big hurricane. All right. Next thing about hurricanes. Let's go back to hurricanes. Let me go back in here to the National Hurricane Center. It pays to know about these storms, guys. Okay. So we want to know a bit about roofs as well. Okay. And I'm talking about property a lot, guys, because this is where a lot of the money is during hurricane season. Hurricanes don't normally tear up a lot of cars. It's only in special cases like Hurricane Harvey, where you had like 500,000 cars lost. I did field auto on that deployment. It was crazy. It's like every car in Houston got flooded. It was insane. Every car in Houston and like East Louisiana got flooded. But anyway, what was I trying to say? I just forgot. I forgot my whole train of thought. I was telling you all about wind. Okay, so we want to know how fast these hurricanes are. All right. So if I'm seeing a hurricane, all right, when he's down here at the bottom, I see greater than 60% chance, and it's flirting with that east coast of Florida, or it's flirting with the west coast of Florida, or it's looking like it's gonna go straight to the middle of Florida. I want to know how fast that storm is going because I know how strong shingles are. If that storm is going over anything over like 70 miles, 60 miles an hour, if it's going anything over 60 miles an hour, I know it's going to be a little damage everywhere. Okay, it's going to be a lot of denials, but it's going to be a lot of claims filed. If it starts going over 100 miles an hour and it can sustain 100-mile-an-hour winds for a day or, half a night or, something like that, and it can go up the panhandle, I know we're going to have tens of thousands of claims because roofs cannot handle that amount of wind speed for that amount of time. Okay. If you get a roof that is 10 years old, 15 years old, and you get a 100-mile-per-hour wind going at it for 45 minutes to an hour, you might have half a roof gone, and then you also need to know how fast these winds need to go to tear trees up, to make trees fall down. When we know these things, we can start to put in our mind how much damage is going to happen, right? We know that Central Florida, the Panhandle, and the bottom of Florida, I mean, almost all of Florida is, the population is fairly well spread out, right? So when they make landfall, it's also good to know where these cities are, right? So for example, you got Miami, obviously at the bottom, and then as you go up the coast of Florida, we have all these other little small towns and cities and bigger cities. Central Florida has Orlando, Tampa, and what else? Clearwater and all that little stuff over through there. But those are a lot of claims that can happen. I'll see sometimes when these hurricanes kind of make a hook and they'll go in and they'll hit Florida at the bottom of the boot. There's a lot of swampland there, right? It's a lot of swampland in that area. And so it's not highly populated. So you might have a big hurricane to come through here, but it won't cause a lot of damage. So if you know where cities are located along the coast and how populated these cities are, you can also guesstimate how many claims are going to be there. All right. Not just for one carrier, but for all carriers. Right. And so these are great things that you need to know because then you can start seeing, all right, for example, I know if a hurricane that is like a Cat 2 or Cat 3 hits Florida, goes up the coast of Florida, and it stays a Cat 1 or Cat 2 for a day, I know there's going to be 100,000, maybe 200,000 claims split between 7 or 8 carriers. That's probably going to take me from August into December if I'm a good adjuster. If I'm a great adjuster, it's going to take me into January or February doing supplemental claims. So I can plan my finances around this website, guys. Okay? Make sense? Questions, comments, concerns? Am I telling you all any new information? I don't think I told you all this before. I don't know if anybody told you all that before, but this is how I use that site. When I know how much damage is going to be there, I don't have to rely. See, guys, this thing, we are independent insurance adjusters. What's the most important word? Independent. I don't want an IA firm telling me I'm going to be working for 6 months and it was a Cat 1. It was a Cat 1 hurricane that hit Shreveport, Louisiana. It's got 200,000 people in it, 150,000 people in Shreveport, Louisiana, or whatever, or Baton Rouge, or a small city, and it caused a little damage. I'm probably gonna be there 6 weeks, 8 weeks tops. They'll bring their favorite adjusters in, their favorite adjusters in to do supplemental claims. I probably won't be there if I'm a new adjuster, all right, or if I'm new to that firm. So you want to know the type of storm, where it's hitting, the population. You want to study your areas a bit, guys. That way, these IA firms can't, sell you a dream. They can't sell you a dream and say, well, you're going to be here 6 months. It's going to be a really big deployment for you. And then you get there and you get sent home in a week. I had it happen to me, and I got smart. So y'all got my bad, guys. I had to switch something out real quick. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. Sorry about that. What were we talking about? Because I didn't lost my train of thought. Yeah. So I was going to be switching over to desk. All right. I want to talk about desk real quick. I talked a lot about field. A lot of these things, guys, matter for desk and for field. Okay. Excluding the field adjusters tool list, but everything else matters. Okay. Everything else I'm talking about, if you're a desk adjuster, you need to understand this. If you're a field adjuster, you need to understand this. Okay. So next thing is Xactimate. Okay. So I have a couple ideas about Xactimate. I know I see a lot of y'all, excuse me. I see a lot of you all go out and y'all get Xactimate. Let me see what y'all talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. When a storm starts, I'm guessing it's much easier to get field deployments instead of desks. That's not necessarily true. When storms hit, guys, carriers need field adjusters. They need desk adjusters. They need fire reviewers. They need management. They need first notice of loss. They need a whole litany of people, right? So it's not necessarily easy to get field or desk. Okay, if there's a field deployment, normally there's a desk deployment that goes along with it. If the desk deployment, normally is a field deployment that goes along with it, right? Y'all understand the ecosystem of field of claims, right? So we have people who do field. They go to the property, inspect, whether it's an auto or a home or a commercial property. From there, they send they send their report in. There's a fire review team. Those people get deployed too. Those are IAs as well. That fire review team reviews their Xactimate, their Xactimate estimates. From there, if they don't need to change anything, they send it to the desk adjuster. The desk adjuster does a final review of that estimate and sees if they need anything to be changed on that. If they don't need it, they begin handling the claim. If they do need it, they send it back. They might have the field adjuster go back and inspect. They might have the field adjuster update an estimate if it is incorrect in any kind of way. Okay. that 3-person team, field adjuster, file review, and desk adjuster, all work in tandem. Those are all IAs, and those are all types of deployments that we have. Okay, so it's not easier or harder. So don't think about it as easier or harder. Just think about, what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to go in the field this year? Are you prepared to work at a desk, or do you want to do that? And do your financial goals line up with those types of deployments, or does your lifestyle line up with those types of deployments? Those are questions we got to ask. So easier, guys, easier. When we go after easier, we can put ourselves in a bad spot. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and talk about desk real quick. So what has changed over the years? There used to be, we didn't have to know Xactimate. Desk adjusters didn't have to know Xactimate at all. All we had to do was just review Xactimate claims for the last 4 years. In the last probably 18 months to 24 months, a lot of carriers have wanted to save money, so they have desk adjusters begin to write estimates from the desk. All right, and so and when they have to do that, unfortunately, a lot of carriers want you to pay for Xactimate. Okay, when you have to pay for Xactimate, it's like $300 a month on a subscription service. So if you're working there for 6 months, ASI Progressive does this, by the way. ASI Progressive in Tennessee and the one in Florida, if you're a desk adjuster, you will work in Xactimate. You will write claims in Xactimate. I mean, write estimates in Xactimate and update estimates in Xactimate. And they will need you to have a subscription that you own personally. Okay, so don't think that Xactimate is just for field adjusters. All right, now this is getting back to my main point. This is my school of thought on that. I believe that the best way to spend your time is to, as far as learning Xactimate, is to learn via YouTube first. There is a ton of resources out there on Xactimate for free online. There is an Xactimate version that you can get, a demo version that you can go along with the YouTube channels. Okay. Now, what I think that sometimes I think people, they kind of overestimate how good their memory is. They'll go through and get an Xactimate 1 certification and Xactimate 2 certification, and they won't handle a property claim for 4 more months. In 4 months, they don't know anything about Xactimate, and they're out in the field or they're out at the desk handling Xactimate, and they're screwed. It's like they don't know anything. It's like it's as if they never learned Xactimate. So this is what I did, guys. I'm just explaining to y'all what I did. I got certified a week before my property deployment, right? I saw the hurricane coming because I was looking at my website, right? I scheduled my Xactimate class as the hurricane was hitting, and I left the hurricane class. I left the Xactimate class with my Xactimate 2 certification, ready to go handle claims out in the field, and that worked really well for me. Next thing, I know everybody doesn't use PCs. Some of y'all use MacBooks. If you're going to be using a MacBook, it's a thing called Parallel. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna go find it for y'all real quick. It's called Parallel. Parallels, I think. Parallel. Yeah, here we are. I'm gonna show y'all this website. And you can run Windows on a Mac. You need this because Xactimate runs on Windows. They don't run on Macs. This right here costs $99. Okay. If you want to buy a new license, I already had this on my Mac. Well, it was $99. It's cheaper now. $75, right? If you're looking at this, you got 12 days before they change the price to $99. Today is June 21st, 2022. So you got 12 days from now to get this for $75. This works extremely well. You can use your MacBook to run Xactimate. Okay. If you don't, if you feel like you don't have the RAM for it, you need 8 gigabytes of RAM for Xactimate, get I would say get a cheap computer, but I've already tried that before and it sucks. Get a computer with enough memory. All right. It might be $600 or $700, might be $800 to get a computer that has enough memory, but I'm telling y'all, You want to have a fast computer when you're running Xactimate because you don't want to be up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. handling claims and being frustrated because because Xactimate has so much memory that your computer goes slow. And so you want to hurry up and finish, but you can't because your computer's slow, right? No, Devin, I do not endorse that, bro. Spend the money in a real new computer. Okay. You will be screwed if you get out here and your equipment gets faulty or your computer goes too slow, guys. There's so much money on the line, right? As far as for my field adjusters or my desk adjusters, when you're using Xactimate, guys, you're going to have so many claims. You want your computer going as fast as possible. Okay. Spend the money. All right. Why save $200 when you can make $40 or $50 or $60,000 because you have a good computer and you can get through it fast? When we start getting frustrated with Xactimate, it'll make you quit, guys. I done seen it. I saw a guy quit being an insurance adjuster because his computer sucked while we were working field adjustment. We were working some field claims. Devin, good luck, bro. Don't be like Devin. All right. Invest in your craft, guys, and invest in your resources, invest in your tools. I wouldn't get on the roof with crappy tools. I wouldn't handle claims with crappy tools. Spend the money, get good product, get good resources. Okay. Get good tools to use. Okay. But I don't cut corners with that because I done played the game already, guys. I've done this a bunch. I've done 20 something deployments. I've seen how this plays out. Okay. But if you want to test it, go for it. Okay. So again, back to Xactimate. You have Xactimate and Symbility. Xactimate is quite difficult, just being real with you. Symbility is super duper easy. Symbility is super easy. Especially for desk adjusters. For field adjusters, it's a walk in the park compared to Xactimate. Some carriers like Symbility, some carriers like Xactimate. So be prepared to use either. But I think that it's always good to wait until close to a deployment before I get an Xactimate certification. And then on top of that, guys, every carrier is not asking to be Xactimate certified for you to work Xactimate claims. Okay. It's a cool thing to have on the resume, but they're not always asking you for that. Anybody got questions? We're almost an hour into this. We are almost an hour into this. Anybody got questions about anything? At what point do you think we need to learn Symbility? Symbility is basically something that you learn right there on the spot. You know, when I learned Symbility, I already had Xactimate experience. So Symbility for me was just like, it was like plug and play. But Symbility doesn't have the same level of resources as Xactimate does. Let me go look real quick. Let's go see what they got. Let's go see Symbility training. Let's go find out. Let's see. Okay, here we are. They got some virtual trainings. Let me pull it out. Let me pull it up for y'all. If they have some free stuff, I would suggest y'all start looking at it now so you have an idea of it. Where we at? Here we are. So we got some virtual training. All right. They don't have any classes currently scheduled at the moment, but this would be something to check in on as you all are. Here we are. Self-paced training videos. Let's see what they got. All right. So you'll put in information here, guys. Blah, blah, blah. Submit. And take it from there. Okay. So when y'all get a chance, go to Symbility.com at your leisure and go there, self-paced, go scroll down and go to your self-paced videos and have a look. But it's easy, guys. Symbility is super duper easy. Questions, comments, concerns. Did y'all get some new information? Y'all already knew everything. Devin already knew everything. Devin, how long you been adjusting? Yeah. Since the end of last year. Okay, so 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, maybe. That's cool. Perfect. So that's my goal with this group, y'all. I want to make sure y'all getting a lot of new stuff. All right. We have the courses and all that stuff, but there's a lot more there. You know, It's a lot of information, guys. This industry has so much info, and it's so much for us to learn. But the more informed we are, and the more we know, the better we can perform. The more we can, the calmer we can go into deployments. We don't have to be nervous, like, oh man, are they going to release us today? Are they going to do this? You can really know what to expect and kind of know how to handle yourself. Okay, so Devin says he's moving in the field just now, doing paid training on Renfro, now getting ready to head out. So Devin has never done field, and he says that he knows what to do with these computers and exactly all that stuff. Amazing. Awesome. So you want to start off doing desk remote. Guys, the scenario that we painted today was as if y'all not going to get remote. Okay. If we go remote, that's a different story. We can talk about it another day. But I want to set the expectation that you might not go remote. Okay. The biggest paying jobs might not be remote this year. It might be in office. So we got to be prepared either way. Okay. Nick has found. Nick, is that a stability training for tomorrow at 9 a.m. for stability? Okay. Yeah. So for those of y'all who watch us on record, for those of y'all watching on record the recording of this, again, go to stability and then see what they might have on there as far as your trainings. Can you touch on some good certs real quick besides the TWIA and HAG certifications? You got TWIA. One that I think is really good is FedNat. You're going to get that through One Call Claims. One Call Claims has paid me a lot of money and paid my mom a lot of money too. So their certification is FedNat. It's a one-day cert. You're going to have to be on their roster, and you got to pay attention to when it's available. Okay. So yeah, One Call Claims with FedNat. So it's not necessarily certs. I think it's really more about the firms and carriers, because the real question is like, so who pays the most, right? So Citizens of Florida. This is one that I want y'all to pay attention to. With these these IA firms, they're not going to necessarily tell you before you apply which firms they have, which carriers they're contracted with, but there are there's a few IA firms that are contracted with Citizens of Florida. Now, to get on the Citizens roster or to be eligible to work at Citizens, you have to apply through their IA firm a certain type of way. You have to apply through an Excel spreadsheet, and they want you to apply a certain way. It's not a certification, but just the way you have to apply, it weeds out a lot of people. Okay. Citizens pays a lot of money, guys. Like I'm talking like $800, $900, $1,000, $1,200 a day type of situation. So if storms hit in Florida, having a roster that works with Citizens is a great roster to be on. But you're gonna have to do your homework now. Okay. It's not gonna just be like, oh, this firm works for Citizens. You're gonna have to go find it. Okay. But they're on the list. They're all on the list, guys. But you're going to have to find it. You're going to ask them. They got a Citizens of Florida. They got a Citizens of Louisiana. They both want you on that Excel sheet. Okay. TWIA is a good one because TWIA pays a lot. Okay. TWIA pays a lot of money. You want to be talking to IA firms that work in the state of Texas. Okay. Specifically the coast. Texas Wind Insurance Association is based around the coast of Texas, on the Gulf Coast of Texas. Okay. Now, HAG is great for field adjusters and desk adjusters alike. It helped me a lot. Obviously, State Farm Auto and Property. How do you spell FedNat? FEDNAT. T like Tom. FedNat. Yeah. So the certs, like I said again, I'm just going to reiterate this. It's not so much which cert does what, is how well do I get paid based around that cert. To have Texas Wind Insurance Association, it's cool, but if nothing hits Texas for the year, or it doesn't hit the coast of Texas and do some damage, that cert means nothing for the year. HAG, you can do something with that because we got roofs and fences getting downed all the time, all around the country, right? So that would be a very valuable certification. If you like State Farm, or you live in the Dallas area, or live in the Atlanta area, State Farm Auto and Property certs are super important, because if you live in Dallas or Atlanta, those are two hubs for State Farm. That means you can work from home. You can just drive to work every day, you know? So if I live in Atlanta, Georgia, or I live in the surrounding area, if I live in Dallas or the surrounding area, then I'm going to make sure I have an auto cert. I'm going to make sure I have a property and estimatics certification, right? Because it's advantageous for my lifestyle. So when y'all ask the question about these certifications, we got to put my lifestyle, my financial goals, and my abilities and my interests, all those things go into play. Okay. I'm from Alabama, so having a FedNat certification was very, very advantageous for me. Plus, me and her worked on the same deployment. So a FedNat certification made me way more money than a State Farm certification. You see, because I'm from Alabama, they deploy in Alabama. So I went back home, stayed with my folks, 3 different deployments, stayed at home with my mom and dad, and worked deploying with my mom. You know, so take all those things into account, guys. That goes back to our career strategy, right? All these things go into career strategy. We got to think, guys, but you can't think when you're on the phone getting deployment, when they're calling you about a deployment. We got to plan now for later. Okay. So just to recap, guys, and we're gonna wrap this up. If y'all don't have any questions for me tonight, just to recap what we talked about. First thing we did, we talked about career strategy, right? Our strategy coming into hurricane season. What are we going to be saying yes to? What are we going to be saying no to? Based on what criteria, right? Our finances. How much money does it take for me to provide for my housing where I currently live at? How much will I need to allot per day for housing, gas, food, licenses, certifications, exactament, if I'm paying for that, tools, right? I need to have a set of money set aside. I need to have money set aside for those things, right? If I'm doing field, I need to have my equipment already ready. When the storm hits, guys, and they want you there in 36 hours, that is not the day to go buy your equipment. If you plan on being in the field this year, you have to be ready to ride. You might be driving 12 hours. So you need to have that set up. Hotels and car rentals. Do y'all have group rate? Do y'all have discounts? Do y'all do per diem? Do you do cash advance? You need to ask these questions before you say yes to a deployment. Okay. Is it worth investing in a Mississippi license for cat season? All right, guys. So it's a great question, and it goes for any and all states, right? So like I tell y'all, I want y'all to have 5 licenses. I think that's a great starting point. I don't buy more licenses after that until I get a deployment. Okay. Because you might have a storm. Let's say you might have a storm that goes from Florida all the way up to Maryland, and it hits like 8 states. And you don't have those. You don't have Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia, and all those, Maryland, all that. You know, you might have all those licenses. I'm not going to invest in any licenses until I get deployed and get onto the deployment, and then I will buy the licenses that they need from me. Okay, because guys, remember, this is a business. We don't want to spend money before we don't want to invest before we know we have a for sure return coming in. My 5 is required, right? To get a look, to even be taken seriously. But after that, I'm saving my money because I might need some of that money to travel with, or to eat with, or to buy my tools, or buy my Xactment, or whatever. All right. So we don't want to play the lotto with these states and go get a bunch of licenses. Let these insurance carriers and IA firms tell you what they want. Once we get there, then we buy. Okay. I'm going to a training with Cross Country Adjusting. My goal is to be a desk adjuster this hurricane season. How likely are you to get deployed with these companies if you attend these trainings? If I attend one and get certain training, how can I apply that with other firms that offer desk deployments? Not able to attend all trainings, of course. Great question, Glenn. I want to explain something to you. If the storm don't hit, you ain't getting deployed. Okay. So with that in mind, I still ride with, I'm independent. I will work for any of these IA firms, except EA Renfro, because I don't like Renfro. But I'll work for any of these firms. So for me, I am going to be a free agent, right? So I might go to training with cross country, but if cross country ain't paying the most, or if they don't have any deployments, I'm not going to wait for cross country, right? So the thing about hurricane season, is it can, like again, we're talking about IA firms and IA carriers. Let's say cross country has 3 contracts with 3 different carriers, but none of those are going to pay you what you really want, or they're not competitive compared to other parts, or other firms or other carriers, then you're not going to go cross country, right? So for me, like I'm going to training because I want to get better, but I'm not depending on you to hire me. I'm gonna shop myself around. I'm gonna be calling around, and I don't got to go to everybody training, but I don't allow IA firms to sell me the dream that if I come to their training, if I participate in their things, they're gonna hire me. Because I've been hired so many times from IA firms that I've never talked to. I'm not on their roster. I don't have their email. I don't know anybody who worked there, right? So don't let nobody sell you no dream, okay? That's all I'm trying to say, Glenn. What's bad about Renfro? And look, I have my own experience with Renfro. Ain't nothing bad about none of these IA firms specifically. All of them can get your foot in the door, okay? I'm telling you what I don't like. Like, I don't work for State Farm. I don't like State Farm. But that's also because I worked for them for, I've had 3 or 4 deployments with them. So I have my own experience. I got other friends, they love State Farm. They only work for State Farm. So everything is subjective, okay? I'm just telling y'all what I like and what I don't like. I don't like Renfro. I blocked them on my phone. I don't respond to their emails. I asked them to stop hitting me up. But, that's me. But I have worked for them a few times already. Questions, comments, concerns, guys. We're a little over an hour now. And so for those that are watching on the recording, I don't want them to be getting tired of my voice. Questions. This is a Q&A, guys. So ask away. I'm done with my presentation. So questions about anything y'all got. I want to be able to keep the floor open to everybody. If you want to get on here on screen or on audio, you want to talk, let's do it. We're going to be doing this pretty often. I'm going to be talking to y'all a lot because I want y'all to get out here and dominate hurricane season. Okay. Devin, what you got on the quick tip?
Devin? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I'm doing this Renfro training now, and they're doing exactly the training, but today I was online doing exactly.
Devin, can you get close to the mic? You sound far away. Devin, can you hear me? You sound closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. And what you got?
Bad. I put in some headphones. But
Okay.
yeah, I just literally figured this out today, and I told a few people in my group, and they were pretty shocked. So just wanted to share it in case you guys didn't know. But if you go on ExactWare's website, like the Grill Xactimate's website, they have a mouse pad. I think it's exactware.com. But if you're learning, okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. All right, give me 1 second.
Cool.
So everybody can see it. All right, so we go to exactware.com.
Yes, and if you go to the merchandise, they have a mouse pad. It's less than $5. And
hold on 1 second, bro. 1 second. Let me get there.
I got
Is it under products? Is it under products? Or is it at?
It should be
under. Yeah, click. Store?
It's either in products or store. Try store first. There it is. So click merchandise right there at the bottom to the left.
This one right here.
Yes, sir.
Well, they know how to hide it.
So you see that mouse pad? Exactly, bro. I had no clue that existed. So what that is, that's a mouse pad. I saw it in person today. It has all of the shortcuts for Xactimate. Bro, so if you are looking at stuff, like if you're looking at your notes while you're training, it can be irritating just flipping pages or whatever. But today, just seeing that mouse pad next to me while I was practicing, drawing my sketches, it just was night and day. So, like I said, that's just a quick tip. I think it's real cheap, and it can just help you get real proficient in Xactimate a bit quicker.
Bro, I'm about to I'm about to do a giveaway with that, dog. I'm about 10 of them right now. Appreciate that. And I'll just
And
send
it's
that out to
free
y'all.
shipping, bro. So like I said, it's literally less than $5. It's like $4.30.
That's awesome, man. Hey, appreciate that. Like I said, I'm gonna get 10 of these guys, and I'm gonna get these out to y'all.
That's
I'm
actually a great idea, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get these out to y'all. That's awesome, Devin. Thank you, and I'm definitely gonna put that on my bodies now, and get them sent to the house right quick, and I'm gonna get them out to y'all. Okay.
Cool. No problem. Thank you, bro.
All right, Devin. I appreciate you, bro. Guys, anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns about anything? Do y'all like this format? Do y'all want me to do this more often? Do y'all want me to change some things? Y'all want to make it shorter? Y'all want to make it longer? Y'all let me know now. The group is gonna be growing. Obviously, we get new people in there every day. But right now I want to be doing this like weekly or bi-weekly. So like when I'm talking on like some of y'all have been on Twitter Spaces with me. When I'm on Twitter Spaces, I'm doing super basic stuff, right? That is not all that I know, clearly. But I want to give y'all my good stuff, okay? I want to give y'all more technical stuff. I want to give y'all the thought process behind why we make the decisions we make. Because once we know the why, it's much easier to understand the how, right? And that's why, like, for example, last year, and we're going to talk strategy more, career strategy, because we want to navigate how we can get to, $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year. What certs matter during what parts of the year? What IA firms I need to be with during certain parts of the year? You don't need to necessarily be with one IA firm all year long, because you could work all year for a firm and do 105, but if you split up between 3 firms at the right times, you get to 150, 160, 175. Or you might do a mix of desk and field and hit a bigger number. You might do a mix of auto and supplemental claims. You might do auto, desk, supplements, and then go do field to hit your big number. So I want to be teaching those types of things. Okay. I want to be teaching those types of things. Nick, citizensflorida.com adjusters. Let's see what you got here. And I'm going to tell you if this is the right one or not. Let's go have a look. Because I think you might have put in their staff adjusters. Let's have a look. Yeah. I'm looking now. Yeah, Nick, that's their staff. That's the staff stuff. They have a list. Where's the list at, Nick? Nick, let me bring you on here. Get me through this, Nick. Nick, what are we looking at?
So I was looking at this site. It looks like it's a bunch of the firms that work that are contracted.
Where do you see it at?
Citizens.
Where's it at?
Right. Yeah, you just scroll down. It says adjusters, internal adjusters, independent adjusters, and it has a whole bunch of.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. You can give me there. Where is it at?
So if you scroll down, there's a bunch of the firms here that they're contracted with.
Nick,
that's not it, right? Okay.
I'm on the website. I see insurance claims. Do I go to claims or go to insurance?
Well, no. It looks like. Did you see that slash? I put adjusters. Citizensfla.com/adjusters.
Adjusters.
Yeah.
All right.
Adjusters,
Internal adjusters, independent adjusters. Okay. Perfect. Yo, this is awesome. This is it right here. This is it. All right. So, let me put this in the chat real quick. I'm gonna put this in the Discord, by the way. We can all have it as opposed to. Let's get in here. Yeah, that was smart of you. That was real smart of you. To Nick, you already adjusted, ain't you?
I had to take a hiatus. That's some personal stuff, but I was with Sedgwick from November up until March of this year. So right now I'm probably going to get a W-2 position in Atlanta for right now.
I think so. This close to cat season, you go W-2?
Yeah, I kind of have to because of my kind of family issue. I need to stay in Atlanta. So if I find something, if I find something good, I might branch out.
But you know, they got a ton of independent stuff in Atlanta, bro. It's always independent stuff in Atlanta.
Okay.
I live in Atlanta, bro. State Farm, dog. Make sure you got a State Farm property and auto, and just keep an eye out, man. But I've done a bunch of deployments in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta.
Right. Oh, yeah, I got my State Farm certs, so those are all squared away.
You talk to Stacy?
Stacy, no, I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about, Stacy Graham?
I might have seen her in Twitter, but I haven't. I might have seen him in Twitter, but sorry. Might have seen him in Twitter. Yeah, but I haven't been in touch with him.
Okay. Well, look, bro. Shoot me a message on Twitter.
Will do.
This, okay? All right.
Will do.
All right, guys. I'll put that in the Discord. Let's go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Before I wrap up, any questions, comments, concerns? Just one more time. All right. If everybody's good, shoot me a message on Discord. You can DM me. You can email me as always, guys. I hope y'all like that. Our next call is going to be about roofs, okay? Our next call is about roofs. We're going to be going in detail about roofs, roof damage, how to look at a roof for field adjusting and for desk adjusting, okay? Guys, okay. Y'all, this will be saved. I'm going to put in Discord as well, okay? All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night. Thanks, Steven.